When the forests begin to turn golden at the end of the season, the small farms located near the forest edge also enter the most sensitive period of the year. This is when natural food sources gradually become scarce, forcing many large animals to expand their roaming range in search of energy before colder weather arrives. People who have lived near the forest for many years are familiar with the early signs that signal this change. A trash bin tipped over, a section of wooden fence slightly bent, and sometimes large footprints pressed deeply into the damp soil after a quiet night. At first, these traces appear only occasionally and rarely cause concern. However, over time, when a bear begins returning to the same area repeatedly, the situation gradually changes. Livestock enclosures may be pushed out of position. Containers of stored feed can be torn open. Even fruit trees near the house may be broken as the animal reaches for fruit. What worries residents in the area is not only the material damage, but also the possibility that the animal may gradually become accustomed to environments where people live. Bears are highly intelligent animals and possess remarkable memory. Once they discover a food source that is easy to access, they often return along the same route. Without timely management measures, a single individual may come back many times throughout the season.
Once an animal's caught,
one of the most commonly used measures is the placement of large steel traps designed specifically for animals with large bodies. These traps are very different from the smaller ones typically used for small animals. They are constructed with a strong steel frame reinforced by thick metal bars, along with a heavy drop door designed to shut quickly when the trigger mechanism is touched. Before a trap is placed, the most important step is always surveying the surrounding area. Farm managers usually search for clear signs such as large tracks on the ground, claw marks on tree trunks, or logs that have been flipped over when bears search for insects. In addition, trails running through the forest are also important clues, as many bears tend to move along familiar routes that have formed over many years. Once the animal's travel route has been identified, the trap will be placed at a location where the bear is most likely to pass naturally. Instead of placing it too close to homes or barns, the trap is usually positioned slightly farther away, near the forest edge or along a trail. The purpose of this arrangement is to maintain a safe distance between residential areas and the control zone, while also reducing the chance of frightening the animal. Inside the trap, a portion of bait with a strong scent is usually placed to attract the bear's attention. The smell of food can travel far through the air, especially at night when temperatures drop and the wind becomes lighter. However, the trap is not activated immediately.
So this will stay closed up here, and the bear will come in from here.
During this period, infrared cameras are often installed near the trap area to monitor nighttime activity. The recorded footage helps identify exactly which individual is returning and how frequently it appears. When the camera shows that the bear has begun stepping inside the trap to reach the bait, that is when the system is fully activated. The moment the trap door closes usually happens extremely quickly. When the animal touches the trigger mechanism, the heavy steel door immediately drops and locks behind it. The entire process lasts only a few seconds.
Не сломал ничего, блин, ваша железка.
Красавчик!
After the trap is triggered, the next step is to respond quickly and follow proper procedures. The area manager will approach from a safe distance and ensure that the surrounding area is under control. The following steps may include checking the animal's condition and carrying out management measures according to conservation regulations and community safety guidelines. Overall, from reading tracks on the ground and observing activity through nighttime cameras to the moment the trap mechanism is activated, the entire process is directed toward a shared goal: protecting farms, ensuring community safety, and maintaining the balance between humans and nature.
This is no longer a series of isolated incidents happening at night. Tilted trash bins and bent fences are only surface signs of a movement pattern repeating in a structured way. Bears are not appearing randomly. They are entering the area from multiple directions, as if they have memorized every trail and gap between the forest and the residential zone. Each night, infrared cameras record the same hour and the same movement trajectory. The greatest concern is not a single encounter, but the fact that the safety distance is being reduced step by step. A rushed reaction at this moment will not solve the problem. On the contrary, it may make the target individual more cautious, forcing it to change routes and approach residential areas from angles that are harder to control. Therefore, instead of chasing or applying direct pressure, we choose a different strategy. The area is divided into control layers. Bear movement paths are clearly identified. And specialized traps are assigned to handle the highest risk part, instead of people. The operation does not begin with noise. It begins with calculated silence. Along the forest edge, where trails weave through bushes and slopes, large cage traps are placed at key intersections. They are discreet and do not disturb the surrounding environment. Bait is positioned deep inside, requiring the animal to step fully into the control zone before the mechanism is triggered. These traps function like invisible checkpoints. When an individual approaches and activates the drop door, a signal is sent to the monitoring center. There is no loud noise, no widespread panic. But that signal confirms one crucial fact: the behavior was accurately predicted. The appearance is no longer a surprise. It follows a prepared scenario. In low areas near water sources or temporary waste sites, where bears tend to leave the main route to search for quick food, secondary traps are arranged to slow and hold the individual in place. Our task is not to resolve everything in a single night, but to reduce immediate pressure and prevent deeper intrusion into human living spaces. Closest to residential zones, everything is arranged remotely and under strict control. A smart cage trap is positioned at the center, discreet but strategically critical. This is the final control layer before bear movement reaches the backyards of families. Cameras and motion sensors continuously monitor even the smallest signal. It pauses for a few seconds, sniffs the air, then continues along its familiar path. No panic, no sudden change of direction. That calm behavior is the signal that the control system is operating with precise accuracy. The outer layer trap is triggered first, slowing the advance. The individual is forced to shift direction, moving closer to the prepared zone. Without this early control layer, the distance from the forest edge to residential fences could be reduced within minutes. At this stage, the trap is no longer merely a technical device. It becomes the final protective barrier for the community. The rapid response team is deployed immediately after confirmation is received. Sedation and transport procedures follow veterinary standards and are carried out as quickly as possible. The area is cleaned, bait scent is removed, and all equipment is dismantled right after completion. In bear management, sustainable solutions do not come from reacting after each appearance. They come from predicting the right route, controlling the right contact point, and intervening at the right moment. When technology is used with planning, it does not only protect property or crops. It protects the essential safety distance between humans and nature. If you are interested in safe and responsible wildlife management methods, follow the channel to continue accompanying us in upcoming stories.
Hey, bear. Hey.
When autumn begins to spread a pale yellow color across the treetops at the edge of the forest, many small farms also enter the most sensitive period of the year. This is the time when natural food sources in the forest gradually begin to decline. Wild fruits, insects, and other nutrients become harder to find. As a result, large animals often start moving over wider areas in search of food before the cold season arrives. For many years, people living near the forest have become familiar with the first signs of this change. A trash bin turned over. A wooden fence slightly bent. Sometimes large footprints pressed deep into the damp soil after a night of rain. At first, these traces appear scattered and do not cause too much concern. But when a bear begins returning to the same area repeatedly, the situation quickly changes.
Bears have very strong memories. When they discover an easily accessible food source, they often return using the same route. An orchard, a livestock feed storage shed, or even a trash bin that is not tightly closed can become a regular stop. When this happens repeatedly, the animal gradually begins to treat areas near human homes as part of its foraging route. That is also when wildlife management teams usually begin to receive calls. After several days of observation, movement patterns gradually become clear. The bear often follows the same path from the forest to the garden, stopping at several familiar points before returning to the deeper forest. Once this route is identified, the management team begins deploying an appropriate trapping system. One common method is the use of large steel cage traps. These traps are designed with a strong steel frame and a drop door equipped with an automatic locking mechanism. Inside the trap, bait with strong scents such as ripe fruit, honey, or fermented grains is usually placed. These smells can travel far through the air and attract the attention of bears from a considerable distance. However, setting a trap is not as simple as placing bait and waiting. If the trap is placed in the wrong location, the bear may detect it and avoid the area altogether. For this reason, specialists usually position traps along the animal's natural travel routes, where it has passed many times before. The trap door is secured firmly to prevent shifting when the animal steps inside. In some situations, steel foothold traps are used as a temporary control method. This type of trap has a metal clamp ring with pressure carefully calculated to hold the animal's paw without causing serious injury. The trap is usually buried shallowly beneath a thin layer of soil on familiar trails, then covered with dry leaves and loose dirt so it blends into the surrounding environment. When the bear steps into the exact position, the spring mechanism activates and holds it in place. Specialists monitor the area using remote cameras to ensure they can respond quickly once the trap is triggered. In many cases, the management team will use safe tranquilization methods before carrying out the next steps, helping reduce stress for the animal. After the animal is safely controlled, specialists usually check its health and attach a tracking device if necessary. This allows them to better understand how bears move within the area and predict the possibility of them returning in the future. For many communities living near forests, these trapping systems and management procedures have become an important part of maintaining balance between humans and nature. They allow people to protect their farms and property while ensuring that wildlife is managed safely and responsibly. And each time autumn returns, when the forest begins to change color and natural food sources grow scarce, large footprints appear again on the damp soil. But thanks to the experience and management systems built over many years, communities at the forest's edge now understand much better how to handle such situations, calmly, scientifically, and with respect for the balance of nature.
For many years, bears were considered animals that lived separately, avoiding humans. But as habitats overlap, unexpected encounters have begun to appear. No longer just brief sightings. There have been situations where bears directly approached people in forests, on trails, even at the edges of residential areas. And in field management, the greatest danger does not lie in the moment the trap is activated. It lies in how the entire area is handled afterward. Bears do not act randomly. They respond to chains of stimuli: scent, movement, sound, spatial memory. If an intervention point is handled without control, that area can become a marker in their behavioral map. An individual that once approached humans without clear resistance may return again. And when bold behavior is not interrupted, the level of risk increases over time. In modern control systems, the goal is not to react after a single incident. The goal is to prevent dangerous behavior from repeating. At forest edges or near hiking routes, infrared cameras and motion sensors are installed to accurately identify individuals showing signs of approaching humans. Correct identification is critical. Not every bear displays dangerous behavior, but an individual that has previously attacked or approached too closely must be handled under a separate protocol. Once the area is confirmed, the control team deploys specialized cage traps or foothold traps with controlled clamping force. The foothold trap is specifically designed to secure a bear's front limb without causing serious harm. Its curved structure, pressure-limiting springs, and safety locking system ensure the animal cannot withdraw its paw. This is not equipment used carelessly. It is placed only at confirmed high-risk locations and always accompanied by remote monitoring. When the target individual steps into the exact position, the automatic mechanism activates, forcing it to stop moving. As soon as the signal is transmitted to the monitoring center, the rapid response team immediately moves to the site. Captured individuals are sedated under standard veterinary procedures and then transported away from the area as quickly as possible. No prolonged noise. No lingering scent or chaotic traces. The entire site is cleaned and restored to a neutral state immediately afterward. If handled carelessly, a trap site can become a memory point in a bear's perception. But if handled correctly, it disappears from their behavioral map. No signal, no confirmation of risk or reward, just an information void. Near residential areas, every action must comply with even stricter regulations. No public gathering. No images spreading panic. No individual left restrained on site for extended periods. The objective is not only to control the immediate situation, but to ensure the location is not remembered as a confrontation point. All captured individuals are transported to designated facilities according to wildlife management regulations. Depending on behavioral assessment and risk level, they may be redirected to appropriate habitats or handled under specialized professional plans. Most importantly, they do not return to their previous location to reinforce human approach behavior. In bear management, success is not measured by the number of traps deployed. It is measured by whether aggressive behavior ceases, whether trails become safe again, whether residents can walk and work outdoors without constant alertness. Traps are only tools. Long-term stability comes from how the entire system is operated, from identification and monitoring to activation, transport, and environmental restoration. When the chain of dangerous behavior is broken, the chain of risk to people ends quietly as well. And the greatest success is when no further attacks occur, when the forest returns to being its natural space, and humans are no longer within reach of uncontrolled behavior. In recent years, incidents of bears approaching farms and residential areas have become more frequent. These are no longer just distant sightings, as many cases record bears breaking into storage areas, searching for food, and damaging barns. The damage goes beyond broken windows or bent wooden doors and can affect structural elements and storage systems. For many families, repair costs become a significant burden. Conflicts between humans and bears are therefore no longer isolated events but ongoing issues without an appropriate control system.
Dad's got a bigger problem.
They're gonna be poking holes with their feet in the floor.
You had enough to eat. Let's go.
When repeated intrusions occur, communities face increasing pressure.
Shoot.
Residents invest in stronger fences, steel doors, and reinforced storage facilities, yet costs continue to rise over time. Beyond material losses, the psychological impact is considerable. Anxiety emerges during outdoor activities or when children play near the forest edge. Production activities are disrupted due to heightened vigilance. A sustainable solution must therefore reduce economic damage while helping communities regain long-term stability.
She's gonna kick him out and say, "You're on your own."
Bears do not move toward residential areas randomly. They are attracted by specific signals such as livestock feed, organic waste, or ripe fruit left outdoors. When one successful approach provides easy access to food, the individual remembers the location. The next visit may come with greater confidence. If attractants remain available, repeated behavior becomes highly likely. Effective trapping must therefore go hand in hand with strict management of attractant sources from the beginning. To avoid emotional reactions, management teams use monitoring equipment to identify precise points of repeated access. Infrared cameras record common times and movement directions. This data allows risk assessment before intervention measures are deployed. Tracking devices help response teams approach locations more safely. Instead of waiting for incidents, information is analyzed in advance to support informed decisions. Technology plays a key role in reducing risk and improving control effectiveness. Traps are not placed widely, but only at locations confirmed and monitored. Cage traps or limited force foothold devices are selected depending on specific circumstances. Their design aims to minimize serious injury while allowing timely response. Remote monitoring systems ensure that control teams receive signals immediately upon activation. The objective is to address a specific individual causing repeated risk rather than create unnecessary broad impact.
Дергай! Снимаешь?
Ты успокоился, не матерись, ну.
Снимаешь?
In some cases, specially trained dogs assist in the tracking process. They undergo months of training to develop scent detection skills and maintain safe distances from large wildlife. Coordination between dogs and handlers helps accurately identify the location of suspected individuals before traps are set. This reduces the risk of unexpected encounters. The use of trained dogs increases monitoring effectiveness and supports controlled trap deployment. When a trap is activated, the rapid response team moves immediately to the site. The captured individual is sedated according to veterinary standards to ensure safety. The animal is then transported to a designated management facility for behavioral assessment and risk evaluation. At the same time, the trap location is thoroughly cleaned to remove scent and traces. This prevents the creation of new memory points and reduces the likelihood of other individuals returning to the same location.
Просто не идут там? Да. Давай, снимай по-хорошему. Увеличивай поближе. Он не видит. А то у нас тут не захуярил. Давайте посмотрите. Пока есть. Пока он этот выход не нашел.
The effectiveness of the system is not measured by the number of traps placed. What matters is whether intrusions decrease and damage no longer repeats. When farms return to stability and bear populations remain within natural habitats, the objective is achieved. Traps are only one component of a broader strategy balancing human safety and wildlife conservation.
When the forest begins to turn yellow at the end of season, some small farms along the forest edge also enter the most sensitive time of the year. This is when natural food sources gradually become scarce, and large animals begin to move across wider areas in search of energy before the cold season arrives. For many years, people living near the forest have become familiar with the signs of this shift. A trash bin knocked over, a wooden fence slightly bent, and sometimes large footprints pressed deep into the damp soil after a quiet night. First, these traces usually appear sporadically and do not cause too much concern. But over time, when an individual bear begins returning to the same area repeatedly, everything changes. Livestock enclosures may be pushed out of place. Stored food containers can be torn open. Even fruit trees near the house may be broken as the animal reaches for fruit. What worries residents the most is not only the material damage, but the possibility that the animal gradually becomes accustomed to the presence of humans. Bears are extremely intelligent animals with strong memories. When they discover an easy food source, they often return along the same route. If not properly managed in time, what begins with a single individual can turn into repeated visits throughout the season. For this reason, many rural communities have begun adopting more systematic control methods instead of the scattered reactions used in the past. One of the most common solutions is the use of large steel traps specially designed for animals of considerable size. These traps are not like the compact traditional traps often used for smaller species. They consist of a solid steel frame reinforced with thick metal bars and a heavy drop door designed to close quickly when the trigger mechanism is touched. Before setting the trap, the most important step is always surveying the area. Farm managers typically search for clear signs, such as large footprints, claw marks on tree trunks, or overturned logs, where bears have searched for insects. Trails through the forest are also important clues, as many bears tend to follow familiar routes that have formed over many years. Once the movement route has been identified, the trap is placed in a position where the animal is most likely to pass naturally, rather than placing it right next to houses or livestock enclosures. The trap is usually set a bit farther away, near the forest edge or along a trail. The goal is to maintain a safe distance between residential areas and the control point, while reducing the risk of startling the animal. Inside the trap, a strong bait is usually placed to attract the bear's attention. The scent of food can travel far through the air, especially at night when temperatures drop and the wind is light. However, the trap is not activated immediately. In many cases, the door is kept fixed open during the first few days, so the animal can become accustomed to the presence of the steel frame. During this time, infrared cameras are often installed near the trap area to monitor nighttime activity. The recorded footage helps confirm exactly which individual is returning and how frequently it appears. When the camera shows that the bear has begun entering the trap to reach the bait, that is when the system is finally fully activated. moment the trap closes usually happens very quickly. When the animal touches the trigger mechanism, the heavy steel door immediately drops down and locks firmly behind it. The entire process lasts only a few seconds. The trap is designed to contain the animal without causing serious injury, while preventing it from escaping before the management team arrives. After the trap is triggered, the next step is a quick and proper response. Area managers usually approach from a safe distance while ensuring the surrounding area is secured. The following procedures may include checking the condition of the animal and carrying out management actions according to conservation regulations and community safety guidelines. Overall, from reading footprints in the soil, monitoring night cameras, to the moment the trigger mechanism is activated, every step serves a single goal: protecting the farms, protecting the community, and maintaining a balance between humans and nature.